So let's begin with some postural work. So when we think about posture with Tai Chi, we want to think about the feet being lined up so that they are facing kind of in a forward position. You want to make sure that your knees and the joints are nice and relaxed. And we want to, with balance, we want to make sure that the big toe, little toe, and heel are part of the process. So let's just take a moment and rock back and forth with soft knees, kind of rocking back and forth and just feeling the body alignment. So feeling the body weight kind of shifting forward, back and forth. And then allowing yourself to just kind of settle in between those 2 points, between the toes and the heels, just kind of in that center point. And then bring your attention to the lower dantian. Let's take a moment and let's just kind of shift those hips, kind of move them around as if you had a hula hoop. And I can go over time. I realize I came on late, so I can certainly go to like 8:15 if that works with everybody else. I'll be very happy to do so. So let's let those hips roll. And as we roll, feel what happens in the feet. And you want to get the feeling that the leg bone is moving in the hip joint. And that helps to kind of increase the synovial fluid and kind of allow that fluid to like kind of lubricate the joints. And it also kind of stimulates these smaller stabilizing muscles, the ligaments and the tendons. Now let's go in reverse. So just allowing yourself to roll whatever's comfortable for you to do. And let's come back to center. And then we want to feel that we're lifting the lower dantian. So we want to pull this up, pull that navel up and in using those muscles and allow that tailbone to kind of slide underneath the body. So we want to feel that we're actually getting that lumbar vertebrae, the opportunity to lengthen, and also getting a little movement in the pelvis. It's not big, just subtle, back and forth, but you want to engage the navel muscles so you feel like you're lifting the front of the body up and in, and at the same time letting the back kind of slide underneath that sacrum, slide underneath the body. So that's kind of like the sensation, because usually we're in a very forward posture. So we want to lift the front of the body and let the back of the body kind of slide down. So let's just let the knees bend, feel the lower abdominal muscles engage slightly, and feel that length in the lumbar vertebrae, letting that tailbone just kind of lengthen and slide underneath the body. So bringing that attention up to the sternum. Let's move the arms and the elbows back a bit and lift the sternum, and then come in and then curl in just slightly, just enough so you feel a little bit of movement, because many times we're in this forward posture already. So we're going to go into that forward posture, but then open up and out. So exhale as we come forward just slightly, and then inhale as we come back and open. So let's move back and forth, letting the upper rib cage now move a little bit while still keeping the lower body nice and steady. And you want to almost feel like you're moving the arm bone, the elbow in that shoulder joint, and down and back. Good. And let's do one more, really feeling the chest muscles and then feeling those back muscles, and then letting the arms come down. So now let's work on opening up the shoulder joint itself. So we don't want to do big shoulder rolls. We want to do small ones. So let's roll forward first. So as we roll forward, we almost want to feel like that arm bone is moving in the shoulder joint, and just allowing very small movement, feeling that rotational movement. And what that does is that, like we did just with the hips and the legs, you want to feel like that arm bone is moving in that shoulder joint. Again, getting kind of stimulating the stabilizing muscles, the synovial fluid to flow into the joints themselves. Now let's then open up and back. So now you're going to feel the shoulder blades. You're going to let those hands open out. And you want to feel that you're kind of rolling that shoulder joint, the arm bone, to the outside. And then let it just sink. So you kind of might feel that kind of vibrations down the arms. That is your chi energy. So just letting that flow for a moment. And now let's take that chi energy. We're going to sink the chi. So we're going to bring the arms up so the elbows are lined up with the shoulders, and then let this sink on down. So again, we want to roll the arm bone in the shoulder joint rather than lift up with the shoulders. We want to lift the arm up and come on down. And whatever is comfortable for you. Some people do this right at chest level as well. But just remember that every movement counts. So it doesn't have to be big global movements. What you want to do is make sure that you are not lifting the shoulders, that you're having a nice, relaxing kind of movement going on. Sinking the chi, gathering it up. You might feel a heaviness in the hands and down. And let's do one more, lifting up and down. So let's whisk those hands together. And as we whisk those hands together, that heat that you feel, that's your chi. So we want to really feel that chi energy, and now we're going to move it across just a little bit. So let's take that moment and inhale and exhale. So here you might feel the tingling, maybe a little magnetic pull between the hands. And let's continue to do that, inhaling up, exhaling down, and nice and slow, letting those fingers just relax and flow. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Now, let's make a chi ball. So we make the chi ball. You want to feel like the thumb of the top hand is right about at your sternum, which is the middle dantian or chi. And then the pinky of the lower hand is down by the belly button, which is the lower dantian, or called jing. So we're going to roll this. You want to kind of keep that elbow down and let the navel and the nose stay lined up, and then swing that around. And then let's go to the other side. And roll that around, trying to keep those hands lined up as much as possible. And remembering to go nice and slow, fluid, letting that elbow stay nice and low. And just moving nice and gently back and forth. And remembering the slower and the more fluid, the more relaxed the joints are, the better the chi motion. And so when you move, it's almost like a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's do that again. Nice deep breath. Good, and one more. Good, and then come back to center and let those hands relax down. Now let's draw the hands up. We're going to take the top hand, push the bottom hand down. We're going to do a side stretch. So what you want to do is stretch the underarm away from the hip, soft push Let the head and neck go with the action. And then pull in with the body muscles. Let that arm come down. So let's do that to the other side. We're going to lift up, press up, push down. Again, trying to lift the underarm away from the hip, stretch, and then bring this down. Let's do that a couple more times, lifting up, press, stretch, feeling like the spine is like a string that you're trying to stretch up, and let the body then come back. Trying to feel that connection between the head and the neck. Good. And opposite side, press up, stretch. Good. And come back. Let's do one more to each side, lifting up and press and back. And last time, pulling up and press up and down and relax. Nice deep breath. Now let's work on the knees a little bit. I'm going to step back just a little bit. Let's alternate. So you want to be aware of shifting your body weight from one side to the other. And you want to feel like the knee is kind of hanging down right from the hip, and allow that body weight to shift back and forth. And really feel like you're pressing the feet down onto the ground so that you feel balanced. And one more time. Good, and down. So let's stretch the front of the hip. So we're going to turn to the side. We're going to take one leg to the back. So you want to let that leg, this front knee is bent. You want to feel like about 60% of your body weight's on that front knee, about 40% on the back leg. And we want to keep that posture that we've already been working on. So you want to keep the shoulders back and let yourself just hinge forward at the hip and back. So you want to feel like you're creating a crease in the hip. The legs stay steady. Try not to let it be all about the knees, but just feel like you're just hinging forward and hinging back. Back and forth. Nice and easy. Good. Let's do one more. And now let's hold that back position so that you feel this same side glute is engaged. And you want to feel like your shoulders are just a little bit past that midline of the body. So you want to feel that stretch in the front of the hip of the leg that's back. Keeping the tongue to the roof of the mouth will help to keep the neck balanced. And then straighten up and then bring that leg up. And let's do that same thing to the other side. So let's take the opposite leg now goes to the back. This front knee is bent. So I want to feel firstly like my shoulders and hips are lined up. And then I'm going to hinge at the hip, create a crease in the hip, and then lean back so I feel that engage the glute. So I'm coming forward and back. And forward and back. And let's do it just a couple of more of those. Keep the feet firmly planted. Try not to let the knees become involved, and just let that body move forward and back at the hip line. Okay. Now one more time, and now we're going to stay in that back position. So I'm holding this back position. I feel this side glute engage. I feel the stretch in the front of that hip, and just let those shoulders just kind of drift back. And then straighten up, and then come up. Great. So then on the feet, you want to shift your body weight over to one side and lift the heel and the knee, and then roll on the balls of the feet. So whenever I do this, I always feel some cracking in the ankle. Okay, that helps to loosen up. There's a lot of receptors in the ankle that communicate to our brain about balance. So it's very important to loosen them up. Let's go and reverse. Good, and then down, and then sink your body weight into the other side. Lift the heel and roll. And then go in the opposite direction on that side too. Still maintaining your posture. Good. And then release. And let's just kind of stretch out a little bit. Let the knee bend, let those hands and wrists, shoulders, just kind of loosen up a little bit more. And we'll do 2 movements tonight. We're going to do repulse the monkey, and we're also going to do cloud hands. Now, the one of the programs that I do in a virtual plane, because again, you only have a stationary camera, is called Yang Style 9. So if you were to Google that, you would find a couple of different ways to do it. And what's good about it is that you learn the basic movements of Tai Chi, and yet, and you can still do it in this kind of frontal plane area. So it's a great little practice to do. I do this virtually. I do teach a couple of programs, and this is one of the best ones to do because there isn't as much leg movement as with some of the other ones. So the first movement is called Raising the Earth's Power, which is kind of like opening, also called opening the door. So let's stand firstly with the feet close together, if you can. And if you need any assistance for balance, make sure you have something nearby, like a chair or something like that. And let's stand nice and tall because we did our postural work already, and you already did the meditation for the breath and the mindfulness. So let's take a step to the left. You're going to step that left foot out, toe down, and roll down so that you feel that body weight is now centered. And let's take the arms, and we're going to lift the arms up and sink down. So what that looks like from the side, I'm lifting the wrists up, elbows stay low. I always think of a praying mantis when I do this. So the elbows stay low, the shoulders stay low, and let's just go through this a couple of times, just so you can feel the rhythm of it. So inhaling up, lifting the wrists, and then letting those hands float down. Thinking of kind of like paintbrushes and letting it come down. Inhaling up. And this is Qigong. And Qigong is usually like some kind of an arm movement, repetitive, and it helps to move that Qi. Hi. Hi. Yeah, great. I love the strawberry outfit. It's fabulous. And down. And so letting those elbows just stay relaxed. Good. Now, the next movement we're going to do is called Repulse the Monkey, which is all about kind of what it actually means to allow your monkey active brain to just relax. So when we do the third movement, the right hand is going to start to come down. The left hand is going to start to turn up. You're going to look to the side, let that arm go out. And then you want to bring the hand close to the body, bend it in, close to the face, as if you're trying to push that Qi energy, and then push forward over the hand. And now we're going to switch to the other side, where the left arm bends up and out. The right hand now is in front. Bend this in and turn this past your face and push out. So let's just continuously, let's do this movement a few times. Up, bend that in and push. Let this hand come up, this one come out, swing, bend towards the face and push. So this hand is coming down. So remember, with Tai Chi, you're always doing something different. One side does one thing, the other side is doing something different. And let that hand push out in front. And then bend this hand and push it past the face. This one pushes out, this one comes down and up. And bend in and push. Inhaling up, bend this arm in and push. And then let this one last time come up and push. Good. Let the arms come down. So the next movement we're going to do is called hands moving like clouds. So we're going to begin. Harvard University has some YouTube videos that are fantastic, show you how to do this movement really good. So we're going to rotate the body, and the top hand is going to come across and drop down. So you're going to let this hand move. And this is all about keeping that elbow down in front, because there's that martial arts component to Tai Chi. So you always want to have that arm protecting and, you know, kind of more like throat level rather than being up too high. So just let that elbow relax down. Remember, thinking of the praying mantis, and just let the arm, the body kind of move in a spiraling way and down. And breathing nice and deeply and down. And just feeling how relaxing that is. Good. Now let's do the other side. Now I'm going to swing this hand up about chest height and down. So notice it's almost like the body is really doing the work. The arm is just kind of falling along and down. And always doing that protective, the front of the body, your martial arts, either across the neck, the throat, you know, wherever your hand may land, because some people's arms are a little bit longer. And just letting the body, the arm float up and down. Good. Let's do a couple more. And down. And last one. Good. Now, what happens with the full movement is that the top hand comes up, the bottom hand is going to swing across, so it's protecting, kind of sweeping away that lower abdominal area. When you get to the side, you want to let those hands cross paths, and then we gently move to the other side. And so what you want to do is this, we're just going to go back and forth. Try to let those fingers be as loose as possible, the wrist be loose, elbow is down, and let those hands cross paths, those Lao Gong points, very active, and down. Breathing nice and deeply, and down, and back. So this movement usually will have like 3 steps, but for tonight, we'll just do the arm movement, just so that we get that Qigong, that flow of that healing energy throughout the body.
You told me that she had gotten a notification on her phone late that night.
Nice and deeply. And try to do it again, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And try to do that as fluid, graceful, as if you were moving through water. And actually, when I'm in the pool, you know, in Florida, we get to swim a little bit more than some other areas. And I will do a lot of these Tai Chi movements right in the pool, nice and slow. Nice deep breathing. Let's do one more to each side. And then back and down. Nice deep breathing. Okay. So let's just use those hands back and forth. So that's kind of like, you want to let the body do the movement and let those hands just flow. You might feel those wrists and those elbows. Well, if I've been on the computer a lot doing this, oh, it just feels so much better to let that energy just kind of flow through those arms. Good. And then lastly, we're going to do one that's called the water wheel, which is a Qigong movement. So what we want to do is let those hands roll out in front, pull up the body, and then gently push out. And when you push out, you want those palms facing one another because those Laogong points really activate that way. So inhale, bring it up, and gently push out. And let yourself just sink down a little bit with that. So you feel the whole body is a part of the action. And up, and out. And up, and out. So this is that, again, this is that more of a Qigong part rather than the choreographed Tai Chi. Qigong is going to be repetitive movements that move this Qi energy, because that's where we get a disease. When the Qi energy is stagnant in certain places, that's what kind of creates that, a lot of illness. So when we get that Qi moving, that's what really helps us so much. So let's do a few more of these, and then we'll do one that's really good for migraines. So let's do a few more. Good, and down. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this beautiful healing Qi energy up to the face. We're going to pull it across, press out soft, and bring it down. So we're going to pull this up the front of the body about eye level, pull, and out. And remember, always soft in the elbows, soft in the shoulders. So the elbows are below the shoulders, out and down. Pulling up, pull it across, out and down. Inhaling up, exhaling as we bring this out and down. And let's do that several times using that Qigong, stretching, moving that Qi energy so we don't have a lot of stagnation or tension in the head, and always letting those elbows be relaxed and soft, because especially with migraines, that's a lot of tension in the neck and the upper back, maybe even in the upper chest, face. So as we go through these, we want to allow the posture, top of the head up towards the ceiling, and feeling all the facial muscles relax, letting the jaw relax, letting the eyes, the eyebrows, the forehead relax. Elbows remain soft no matter where we are as we do this. And let's do one more, up, out, and down. Great. Now let's sink this Qi all the way up, bending in. Let this come down the front of the body. Inhaling up and down. And one more time. This time we're going to stay right in front of the chest in prayer pose. And when you're in here, let all these muscles relax down, keeping the tongue to the roof of the mouth, allowing the facial muscles, the jaw to relax. So let's balance some yin and yang. We're going to take one hand out, around, and down. Other side. And down, other side. And just breathing nice and deeply, always moving in your comfort zone. And remember, it's effortless. About 50 to 70% of what you feel you can do. And down, other side, and down. And last time, up and down. Good, and one more time. And down. So I thank you so much for coming tonight to the practice. I apologize profusely for being late, but I did give you your 30 minutes, so I feel justified. I did my thing. But remember, we have a lot of negativity going on in the world, wherever we are. there is so much conflict. There is just so much negativity. And each time we do a mindful practice like this, what we do is we are creating, radiating positive healing energy, not just for ourselves, but we're sending that out to the world. So think of that when we do our practice, that you are not only healing your own self, but we are healing this planet, this world, you know, trying to balance out all the negativity out there with this nice, positive tsunami wave of healthy, wonderful, beautiful chi. So as we, you know, in yoga, they say namaste, but in Chinese, the saying is the light and the spirit and the energy in me. So values, respects, appreciates, and honors the light and the spirit and the energy in all of you. And that is in Chinese, Ni Men Hao and Jing, Shen, and Qi. So I thank you. We press out this healing energy to all beings, all energies out in this world to have a positive reaction to what we have done tonight. We appreciate you so much. And then our Tai Chi authentic greeting, the left hand and the thumb, you put the right hand on top, you grip that left thumb and put that right hand in here like this. So it's facing in. And that is friendship, humility, and strength all together to all of you. Thank you so much. And until next time. Yay. Good job, everyone. And thank you for hanging in there. And again, you know, it's just been a kooky time. So I apologize, but I'm glad we got to get our time in together tonight. So thank you so much. And we will see you next time. All right, Lisa, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, everyone, take good care. Have a nice, safe week. Bye-bye. And bye. Thank you so much for being such a great assistant. Those strawberries really did it. I love it.
Bye.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.